Welcome to Dodger Fan Weekly, Playoff Edition.
I'm Adele.
And I'm Adele. And we love the Dodgers.
Playoffs?
Playoffs, we're going to the World Series!
Okay, yes, hopefully we're going to the World Series, but right now we're going to the playoffs.
World Series?
I think we're going to the World Series.
Okay,
I think so too, but we're going to the playoffs first. We have to get through the playoffs.
I know, darn it.
And we have a lot of big decisions that have to be made about who gets to play, and we'd love to do that all on our own, but we thought we'd bring in a real baseball expert to come and talk to us. So we've invited back Howard Cole.
Oh, great.
He's a very well-respected sports journalist, sports blogger. He's written for different LA Weekly publications, yes. And he is also the director of the Internet Baseball Writers Association.
Yes, which means he knows a lot about baseball, but he also knows a lot about the Dodgers, and he's a huge Dodger fan.
Yes, he is.
I mean, he had a blue beard at one point, so that's a fan,
That's
right?
blue.
But the thing about Howard is he's not part of the Dodger organization. Right. So he can come on our show and give really realistic analysis, and that's what we need, realistic analysis about this Dodger ball club.
Right.
So please, let's welcome Howard Cole. Well, welcome back. We're so happy to have you back with us.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
So we're here to grill you. We have a few questions because we need some help to know what are we going to do in the postseason.
Right.
So the first question is about who plays.
Who plays? Who do we take in to put on our playoff roster? On Twitter, you have actually made some predictions about who the pitchers will be and
the bullpen
and the bench.
Okay. Yeah.
And
so starting pitchers, assuming Ryu is okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Kershaw, Greinke, Ryu the third, and then Herron.
Right.
Okay.
And then the
Bullpen?
would be Kenley, J.P. Howell, Paco would be the second left-hander.
Right.
All right.
And Perez and Wilson. And
League? You said
Brandon
League?
The league, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Vinny talked about if you want a fastball, it should be Baez and Frias. And you don't agree with the Frias thing. And,
No, Baez was the one I left out.
Oh, okay. But not Frias. And what is your reasoning?
Well, he looked good in that one start against Washington.
Okay.
And he had that one horrible start in Colorado, which I don't know if that means anything or not. It's Colorado,
Right.
and it was a bad start, and Donnie kind of left him out there. But he's not really a setup man. He's not really a middle man. He's not a closer. So you only get so many guys.
Right.
And Perez has pitched a lot better lately.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
And how about for the bench? I mean, we know Justin Turner and Andre Ethier, of course, and Scott Van Slyke. You would think they're givens, right?
Right. Yeah, those are definitely givens.
Right. And then we need our
Backup
replacements for
catcher.
Hanley and our backup
Right.
catcher.
Right, exactly. So that's Drew Butera and Miguel Rojas. So if they decide to go with one less pitcher,
Right.
7 in the bullpen, then they can add Darwin Barney.
Okay.
That's what I assume they'll do.
Right.
And I think they're thinking about that.
And if you were going to make that decision, would you go with the extra pitcher or the extra?
I'd go with the extra pitcher, but T. Gordon's had a lot of trouble with his defense lately. I don't know what's going on there.
Right.
Maybe he's tired. He had a really good year. This isn't like when he went back and shortstop and he had all that trouble for a couple of years.
Right.
He played really well at second base this year.
Yes, he did.
Lately, he's made a few errors, and he's made some plays that didn't go as errors that he missed. I don't know if it's fatigue or what it is.
And so you and Don are pretty much on the same page on this one, then, you think?
Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
And Ned.
We'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us, and maybe they'll leave Paco off, and maybe they'll leave Perez off, and maybe they'll leave Baez off. I don't think so. I think that's what they'll do.
Okay.
Do you expect to win the first round of the playoffs?
Yeah.
And let's talk about expectations.
Yes, fan expectation.
Have to win. So many expectations from so many fans. At one end of the spectrum, if you don't win the World Series, total failure, fire everybody.
Off with their heads.
That's right. And the other end, they expect to win, but they'll be happy and still root either way. But the truth is, there have been a lot of expectations for this team this year, right? And the expectation, even Kershaw said it, we're built to win the series. What are your
Yeah,
expectations?
Magic Johnson said World Series or bust. He said that back in February.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so, but anything can happen in the postseason.
that's true.
But I don't want a World Series.
No.
I bleed blue. I'm not going to disown them, but 26 years, it's incomprehensible to me.
Right.
And I can remember 1966 to 1974, 8 years was an eternity. I mean, it was half my life at the time, but
Right.
26 years or more than 3 times, I mean, it's just 26 years between pennants. I mean, sorry, Cubs fans, but it's just, it's incomprehensible.
It's the Dodgers. We shouldn't wait that long.
It is.
Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying? Who's the team to beat? We're talking about
The National League playoffs.
Yes.
Who is the team we want to avoid? Let's start with that.
Yes.
Well, the team to beat is the Dodgers. The World Series goes through Los Angeles.
Okay, so that's true.
Let's get that straight.
That's the Dodger way.
Exactly. And anything can happen, really.
Yes.
I mean, I'm worried about Pittsburgh and Washington. And I'm worried about the Giants. And I'm not worried about the Cardinals. I mean,
Oh.
again, obviously anything can happen.
Right.
But, the Pirates have a really good team, and they've got 4 good starters. And Washington has a really good team. They've got 4 good starters. They really have 5. And, anything can happen. So.
And so I have a curious question. If you could take any player from any Dodger team and put it on this Dodger team, who would it be
Oh, wow.
to improve the team?
That's a great question. Wow, that's a great. Well, obviously Sandy Koufax.
Koufax, okay. A position player. Is there a position player you might want to put in?
Well, another great question. Well, I mean, Garvey was great in the postseason. He's also great, and he's going to be great. I'm complete, especially if maybe he gets a day off before, a couple days off before. Obviously, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. He's going to be great. Watch for him to do something spectacular. In the
We like to watch him, so
Yeah.
that's good.
Garvey was great in the postseason.
He really was. I'm with you. We're Steve Garvey fans.
But I'm with you. This is the team to beat.
What kind of surprises are you looking for to happen? And first, let's start with what concerns you.
Okay. Well, my concerns, obviously, bullpen.
Okay.
Brian Wilson, he's certainly not throwing hard like he did last year and early in his career, and I'm worried about the 8th inning. I'm worried about A.J. Ellis behind the plate, pass balls, wild pitches that he doesn't get to, not being able to catch the ball on a tag. I mean, I love A.J. Ellis. Everybody loves A.J. Ellis, but
Right.
I'm worried about something that might happen there.
Okay. And
D. Gordon making an error. I mean, anybody can make an error, but, some of the defense.
Right. Maybe Hanley Ramirez.
Yeah,
You
for
know.
the first 7 innings if they're losing.
so there are quite a few concerns, it sounds like, which is why we have the bench players. What do you think who do you think might be a pleasant surprise? Something we're not expecting, the unsung hero, perhaps.
Well, that's what's great about the postseason. I mean, you cannot predict anything. For all we know, Miguel Rojas is going to be the World Series. I mean, what if
That's
Hanley
true.
gets hurt and, in the 4th game of the World Series and Miguel Rojas comes in and gets a couple of huge hits and goes, 3 for 8 and makes a couple of great plays. Maybe he's the World Series. That kind of stuff happens in the World
Right.
Series.
It does. It's
But I think
Heroes are made, for sure.
and I'm expecting Carl Crawford to do really well. He's been hot. He's going to stay hot. He had some big home runs last year in the postseason. And Juan Uribe had a couple of big hits. He had a game-winning home run last year in the NLDS. I'm expecting him to do really well. Obviously, Ethier.
Andre Ethier.
I have no expectations.
Oh.
Again,
then
he can have
won't be disappointed.
It's a bonus.
well, he can have a huge hit
Right.
and win a game, or he can not play, anything.
Right.
Scott Van Slyke, Mattingly just completely ignored him last year in the postseason and kept going to Michael Young for pinch hitting appearances.
I
That will
remember
not
that.
happen this year. Van Slyke will get his chance against lefties.
Right.
I'd like to see him get a chance against righties if need be too, but take what we can get. And obviously Clayton Kershaw. I mean,
Right.
He needs to pitch. I mean, we're asking so much of him, but he needs to pitch as well in postseason as he has. during the
All
year.
season long, absolutely.
We would like to know your thoughts on a few things, Howard.
I have a few.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the wave?
Don't like the wave.
Okay.
How about beach balls?
I don't like beach balls either. Well, at the beach, fine.
Yeah, exactly. How about the bubble machine?
Bowling machine's great. Love
Oh,
the bowling
great,
machine.
Great. I'm Adele.
I'm Annadelle.
This is Howard Cole.
And remember,
Glove conquers all.
That's sweet.
See you in the playoffs.